every single game for the Panthers has been decided by one goal, but they are one of just 2 teams now without a win to start this season. Detroit being the other. Luongo being injured, how much does that impact this team?
I think
I
think it's a big deal. And the question will be, we just talked earlier in the show about goalies coming back from injuries. He is a really valuable piece of the puzzle. And in our meeting today, you made a great point, is not only is he important as the goaltender, but he's important in the room as someone who's real. This is a younger team in many ways. He's been through it all. He gives this team, I think, a lot of confidence. They miss him for many reasons.
Without question. I mean, just look at the way these Panthers are built. They could be deeper up front. They could be deeper on the blue line. So, you know, with those shortcomings in mind, they need their number one to, one, be healthy, and they need him to be playing at the top of his game. And again, you know, Luongo brings those intangibles when he's inside that room during the, you know, the throes of competition. You look to a leader like that. So that's a tough way to start the season for a group that I think had higher expectations.
And I think you made a good point to reference the meeting again, because why not?
A long meeting.
Right, I love
really
it.
A long meeting.
Really productive.
And by the way, I'd like to just point out I was early for the meeting today.
Oh, he was early for people that watch us every day.
A rare occasion.
Couple minutes
Actually,
early.
you were early and I was late for the meeting
Well,
today.
you were busy. You were here. I saw you.
I was here, yes. I was just occupied.
Those keeping score at home.
Anyways, if I could just get us back on track.
Yes, thank you, Stu, for that. The point I was going to make that you made in the meeting was that if you look at last year, the Panthers, slow start to the season, and they end up missing by 1 point. It's something that when you look back at the end, you go, oh, that start, you know, killed us in the end.
Absolutely, and you heard Barkov talk about it during the interview. He said, you know, we want to have a better start. We feel like we're in a better position than we were last year. Last year, that start went on for a while, and it was a struggle. So they've got to shut this down as soon as possible, get that first win, try to build on it, because regardless of whether Luongo is going to be healthy or not, they've got to find ways to win. Now, they got James Reimer. They got Michael Hutchinson, who comes in from Winnipeg. He had some experience there. They've got to find a way to get through the injury to Luongo, get some wins, and get into the mix of things, because let's face it, in the Eastern Conference, Devils are off to a 4-0 start. The Carolina Hurricanes are playing well right now. These are all teams that, although they're not in the same division, they could be in the mix for that wild card spot.
They're going to crowd out the top 8.
That's right. And in the Atlantic Division, you've got Boston, Toronto, right, that are right there. Tampa, I mean, obviously a very good team. So those are 3 teams you're probably behind anyway. Montreal's playing well. I mean, this is...
well, and just because you finished the season strong last year doesn't mean you can replicate that. That's an oddity. It's actually a much tougher time of year to get your game in order. Clubs are playing at the top of their game by that time of the year. You're not going to pivot at that moment, not normally.
Yeah, and last year for the Panthers, they won just 4 of their first 14 games to start the season. They look to avoid that this season.